what it is that is unique about us as Indigenous business leaders and our Indigenous business servers that is different from our non-Indigenous peers and colleagues, and what we bring into this world, what they can never bring into this world is inherent connection to country and the ancestral connection to country.
In a cultural construct for me and something that I'm comfortable with, I consider myself more as being a talking piece. So I have been tasked by my community, so the members of the organisation who have been elected onto the board, and I have been given that responsibility as their talking piece to facilitate change as to what's in the best interest of them coming downwards onto me. So I think as a CEO and as a leader in this organisation, that's how I see myself. The Western way of thinking is so predominant in people's minds. They don't want to open themselves up to an Indigenous perspective. I think people often think we don't have anything to offer. It's a mindset that we see a lot out in the working world. I think that people need to be given a chance to really nurture their Aboriginal staff.
Indigenous wisdom is intergenerational. It is never one-dimensional, it is multi-dimensional. It is always looking or remembering what's gone before us to what's now, to what will be ahead of us. What a privilege that Australian businesses have, that they can lay claim to being grounded in that type of wisdom that is in the DNA of this country, that, you know, our businesses are built on.
You know, those learnings about how to manage land that, you know, have been kind of pushed to the side for so long, and people are now coming back to say, well, Aboriginal people actually had a system for bush management that prevented fire and all of this sort of stuff. So there's all this amazing knowledge that's kind of been pushed to the side. But it's also about what we, as Aboriginal people, have lived through, the resilience that we bring, and also, you know, understanding community, family, all those sorts of really important things that inform, you know, inform anywhere you work. You know, they've got value in any setting.
And I'm only in the position I'm in today because of the, I guess, my sort of elders in the past and their elders and so on. And you really are standing on the sort of shoulders of giants and making sure that the values and the lessons that they've instilled in me and others that we carry forward. And it's just a more holistic approach, I would say, to leadership rather than you know, earnings before interest and tax and depreciation and all the rest of the things. It's about holistic care, long term, I would say. Everything's long term.
Because everyone looks at these traditional knowledge systems as in the past, and what Mob has been very good at over the 10,000 years with storylines is changing to use the current tools or new knowledge and continually changing. So I feel that's a big opportunity of what we're trying to portray and show with Rainstick, is that that living knowledge system is still current. We're just using the current tools to do the best thing we can do. As you know, probably the only people that have experienced multi-climate variability over our 65,000 years. I think that's a huge opportunity to solve the current climate problems that are facing us now and in the future.
Leadership's not just this sort of thing that happens at work or over there. It's, I think, again, there has to be core values that are lived, but also listening to people and moving together as a group, as a community, and also, you know, having capacity to build consensus or build an understanding of where there's differences and work with those differences. So leadership can be as much about differences as it is about similarities, in my view.
There is a bit of a, let's face it, there is a bit of narcissism in certain roles out there in the business world, whether it's, you know, generally roles of power and position, have people who either have narcissistic personalities or develop narcissistic personalities because of that power. Having a position like mine, it really keeps you in check, because it's not me driving it, it's not just me pushing forward, it's, you know, not seeking the accolades for me personally as a CEO. Everything that we do is for the community. And that's part of our culture. So everything comes back to culture, and part of our culture is not just thinking for ourselves. It is thinking, what am I doing? What is my role? How can I work in a position that will benefit my community in a more positive way?